At the start of the movie, there's a big box shown under an underground service station. Inside it, you hear the voice of an artificial intelligence called Wujud, also known as the Entity. Wujud explains that it has the ability to take over every electronic device around the globe. Cameras, CCTV systems, the internet, vehicles, even missiles, everything will fall under its command. It claims that it's doing this to help humanity because humans are becoming dangerous. To protect the world, it has devised a plan to eliminate humans. The story then brings in Ethan Hunt. Just like in previous movies, he receives a tape message from the US president. The text explains how the universe has taken over the entire digital system. Cybersecurity no longer works. This means we no longer control the digital domain. To stop this force, Ethan Hunt needs to reach a unique submarine called Sevastopol. Inside this submarine lies a device known as Portva. That device controls the submarine. Ethan must either destroy it or retrieve it to save the world from destruction. The Sevastopol is, in fact, a Russian submarine designed to defend its country underwater. Portva, an AI-powered submarine, operated everything using its advanced mind. However, it grew so intelligent that she destroyed her people and escaped, hiding far away in the water. Now his new goal involves entering a worldwide defense system stationed in Congo, Africa. He aims to bring all electronic devices around the globe under his control. What stands out this time is that Ethan uses an analog tape, which he plays on a TV. Once the mission is done, the tape self-destructs within 5 seconds. Ethan Hunt's biggest challenge now is to stop Gabriel, a former IMF agent. Gabriel is on a mission to control existence itself, trying to take charge of the entire world and become the most powerful person alive. But there's some good news in all this. Gabriel's former assassin Paris, who knows how to speak French, has reconnected with Ethan. Ethan, before anything else, meets with his team to figure out a way to stop the existence. First up, we meet Benji. He's a skilled hacker and has supported Ethan on a bunch of missions in the past. Then we see Luther. He built a unique pen drive that works almost like a virus and can trap this existence they're dealing with. But now, the team steps in and they want things to go further. So, they make their way to the police station. That's where Ethan and Benji need to save Paris, since she's been cuffed and detained there. Ethan and Benji wear masks, while 4 policemen and 2 agents stand nearby. 2 of those present turn out to be policemen themselves, and soon, a massive fight breaks out among them. During this chaos, one of the agents, Degas, tells Ethan Hunt about a looming global threat. He explains the world is at risk and asks Ethan to join him on the mission, saying his help will be crucial in the missions to come. Degas decides to team up with them and sets his sights on confronting Gabriel head-on, as he believes Gabriel is the only one with control over existence. Later, the group attends a grand party where they realize Gabriel is present. The cops arrive at the party since they believe these folks are about to break the law. Grace, a thief first introduced in Recognizing the Dead Part 1, steps in to assist Ethan. The group manages to avoid the police, but Gabriel's men catch them. Gabriel, a former IMF agent, had killed Ethan's first wife in the past. This is why Ethan despises him. Gabriel once worked alongside Wujud, but when he tried to take over, Wujud kicked him out and selected Ethan for the next mission instead. Now Gabriel's men have tied Grace and Ethan inside a tunnel. Gabriel soon shows up. Gabriel says in the third part you took a top-secret tube from China to help your wife. You didn't know what that tube had inside it. It contained a virus capable of controlling AI. That virus could give it the ability to think and understand. So, you're the one who brought Wujud into existence. Now think about this. Wujud is artificial intelligence that's still trapped inside a box beneath the underground station. Right now, its power is limited. It can only influence 23 countries. To take full power, it needs to get to a location in Congo, Africa. The system holds a huge database. However, the device requires its unique PodCover drive to access it. This PodCover drive sits inside a hidden vault located underwater within a concealed submarine sewage system. Ethan still holds the key to this secret vault. Gabriel demands the key from Ethan, but Ethan refuses to hand it over. Furious, Gabriel snatches the chain holding the virus from Luther and plants it along with a bomb beneath an underground station. Ethan is now forced to flee the scene to rescue Luther. After escaping, Ethan manages to reach Luther in under 4 minutes. Luther uses some tools to unlock stuff, but then he tells Ethan that he was trained to hack and disable bombs. A massive 56-megaton bomb sits there. If he removes the detonator, the major explosion won't happen. But the tunnel or ground below will still blow up. He has 2 minutes to get out. Luther's friend Ethan, who sticks by him all the time, wants to help. Ethan says, "Hand over the tools. I'll unlock the door and get you out." But Luther insists that handing over the tools could trigger the entire bomb and wipe out the entire city. Luther plans to disable the first detonator to ensure only damage at ground level happens, keeping the city safe. Ethan is forced to leave his friend Luther behind as he runs away. This affects Ethan, leaving him heartbroken. Meanwhile, Brix and Critters join forces and take Ethan with them. Briscoe feels puzzled about why Ethan handed over the keys, so he suspects there's a much bigger reason behind it. Ethan later shares his plan. He explains that an artificial intelligence called Basad is trying to take over the world. To gain full power, Basad needs to connect its drive to a server hub located in Congo, Africa. Then can he take over control of the entire world? Now Ethan needs to come up with a plan no one else would even dream of. He says we have the power to stop existence if we unite. But Brix refuses to listen to him. Artificial intelligence had already figured this out long before. Because of this, Ethan gets taken to a secret camp in the US. It is located in a hidden facility. Many important figures from the US are there, including the president himself. At the camp, some of Ethan's previous missions are shown. These reveal how he pulled off major operations. We learn that while many people died in those missions, the whole world had never been at risk. Ethan had a habit of ignoring orders, but he finished his missions. So, he is both innocent and guilty at the same time. Then Ethan reveals to everyone that he had a secret message sent to the president. Ethan explains to the president that he has the power to stop this existence. Hearing this, all the important officials reject Ethan's claims and start saying he has lost his mind. Why would they believe him anyway? Meanwhile, Wujud, also known as the Entity, has taken control of Europe, Africa, Bangladesh, and Australia. It now has full control of their missiles and could strike at any moment. Even during the meeting, nobody takes Ethan. But the president trusts Ethan. She says that even if someone locks him up, he will still find a way to finish his missions. A helicopter is prepared to take him directly to Sevastopol. However, he runs into trouble because the rest of his team doesn't send him the exact position of the final Sevastopol underwater. Ethan decides to jump out of the helicopter when the Russian military spots it. Meanwhile, his teammates come up with a plan to locate the Sevastopol site underwater, which is where the Sevastopol had ended up sinking. As Ethan dives underwater to grab the Podkova from the safe, his team cuts a small piece of ice on the surface and waits for his return. The location of the seventh pole is known to a scientist living in Siberia. By the time Ethan's team gets to his house, some others have already shown up there. A lot of talking goes on between everyone present. The scientist's name is William, and he's the same person who created the secret agent list from the first Mission Impossible movie. That list contained the names of all the American agents, whether they were officials or part of the IMF. Ethan took William's data drive earlier. America saw William as useless because of this and exiled him to Siberia. Without the machine, William had no way to pinpoint the exact spot of the Sevastopol. When a torpedo shot through the water, it caused a big wave, and the machine could detect it. But that machine ran on old CD drives, which no longer work. People have started building newer types of drives to replace them. The focus now shifts to Ethan Hunt. While he is in the water, a group of people finds and helps him out. Their leader, Bloodsoe, tells Ethan, "Tell me what you need, and we'll help you." Nearby, the captain starts listening to what Ethan has to say. Admiral Neely had ordered him to follow Ethan's instructions. Ethan then shares his plan to travel to a location in Russia. That spot is where the Sevastopol is hidden underwater. Blood explains that the area in question is massive, measuring around 1.5 lakh crore square meters. Finding the exact underwater spot in such a huge area would be challenging. His team, however, has already contacted a scientist in Siberia. This scientist knows the precise location. The scientist plans to send the coordinates in 2 hours. Until then, Ethan advises the captain to keep the radar on. The captain says to notify him as soon as you find the location, and he will use the submarine to take me there. Ethan already knows his next steps after diving underwater. Ethan requires a special suit to dive. A girl called Helena assists him, explaining that the suit functions up to 300 feet deep. She warns him that once he dives, the cold will cause his body to shrink. Breathing will stop. Arms and legs might stop moving, and the brain could lose oxygen. This might lead to him passing out or even dying. But Ethan believes he can manage it. The scene then shifts. The scene switches to Benji and William. William informs Benji that he has already memorized the exact location. This means they don't have to build the machines. However, William believes it wouldn't be appropriate to hand over the location to Gabriel's people at this moment. William decides to hide the location data by placing it inside a watch and giving it to his wife. He then comes up with an excuse and tells Gabriel's crew, "My dogs are being loud, and I can't focus on making the machine because of them. They must be fed." His wife steps in saying, "I'll take care of his dogs and give them food," but insists someone accompany her. She convinces Grace to go along with her. Together, they leave. Grace wanted that key seat with all the location details. But Captain Cold So's team catches on, and a massive fight breaks out. The battle drags on, costing many lives. Meanwhile, Grace somehow manages to kill the IMF agent and heads to the same place to rescue Ethan by breaking through the ice. William sends Ethan the location coordinates for his submarine, and Ethan gets ready to move forward. As their submarine's back door opens underwater, a Russian submarine appears right behind them, ready to attack. Ethan orders the captain to leave him behind. He tells them to slow Sabrin's speed, take a U-turn right then, and get out of there fast. When Ethan tries to escape underwater, he uses a Russian submarine to survive for a short time. While sinking into the water, he dodges death with the help of another Samaritan. Deep underwater, there is no light, and he drifts further from his intended spot. He uses flare lights to see a bit better in the darkness and makes it to the Sevastopol. Inside Sevastopol, everything is pitch black. The place looks ancient, and water covers everything around. Yet, there are still a few spots where water hasn't seeped in yet. When he gets there, he switches on the lights to see better. As he examines the area, he notices old bodies, the same ones shown in the earlier part when the submarine was destroyed. He manages to grab the Patkoba drive somehow. While heading back, movements from Pandobi cause everything inside to shake, and water starts gushing in from everywhere. This commotion ends up blocking the path to the exit. With the door now shut and his suit running low on oxygen, Ethan starts to think about what to do next. Ethan tries to figure out a way to escape. An idea comes to him to exit through the torpedo's opening. He notices a long, narrow tube leading out. The problem is, his suit gets in the way since the tank on its back keeps getting stuck. To escape, Ethan has no choice but to take off the suit. After slipping into the tube, he makes it out, saving his life and reaching the surface. At the same time, Grace gets herself ready. She bites off a chunk of ice and pulls it upwards the moment she spots Ethan. Now, the real challenge waits for them. Stop existence. Its existence could end if it appeared in its true form. That's why Luther designed a 360 terabyte drive called the Poison Pill. This was Luther's greatest invention ever. Their next step was to transform the existence into a physical form. To do this, they had to travel to Congo City in Africa, where a massive data storage facility was located. This system used solar energy and had been designed to survive even the world's most devastating disasters. Existence wanted access to this location to carry out its plan to wipe out humanity. It aimed to bring destruction to everyone on the planet. He believed staying here for thousands of years would create a generation without feelings. His team now needed to trap existence into a tiny 3 terabyte drive. He had 1 second to complete this task, 100 milliseconds. If not done on time, once existence entered the system, it would trigger every missile worldwide, destroying the planet. Time mattered above everything. They had just a second to halt existence, and this virus could make that possible. Gabriel had the virus drive, and his responsibility was clear. Gabriel waited in the server's mainframe to erase existence. The task now was to find Gabriel and hand over the port-over drive. Gabriel would use it to upload the virus. Every detail of the plan had already been set. But things took a turn. When Ethan went to meet Gabriel, the police showed up and tried to bring Ethan in. However, they knew Ethan was the one destined to rescue the world. A massive fight erupted at the scene. Gabriel, anticipating trouble, had prepared a getaway plane to leave. He was ready. Ethan knew Gabriel would come after him with Baklava. He decided to board a plane and get away. Meanwhile, Ethan ran toward the plane on one side, while his team tried to stop the existence program in the server room on the other. Gabriel had set up a massive tornado bomb there. The bomb had enough strength to wipe out the entire continent. William was working to defuse the bomb while Ethan chased Gabriel on the plane. At the same time, Benji attempted to hack into the system to stop existence. During this, he got shot. The bullet struck him right in a critical nerve. His breathing stopped when the vacuum got blocked. Benji asked Paris to help him. Paris, who spoke French, replied, "I'm not a doctor." Even so, he used a knife to make a hole in Benji's chest and inserted a vacuum tube. This let Benji breathe again and keep hacking. Grace now had one task. She had to disconnect Lather's drive when the red light turned green and cut the wire linking the machine to the server. By doing this, the entity would take physical form but lose its ability to control the system. With so much chaos happening, the governors informed the president about what he had done. It was a mistake to trust Ethan Hunt. He deserved to go to prison. Giving him the chopper led to it being wrecked. Still, you believe he can prevent extinction and save the nation. That cannot be done. We still have our defense system, while other nations have been hacked. This gives us an opportunity to launch missiles and take out those countries. If we don't act, they'll wipe us out. The team agrees to target 8 nations, including America, to save 7 billion lives. But the US president refused to make this call because he did. Ethan didn't want to destroy the lives of even 10 crore people. The scene now moves back to Ethan, who is still in the air. He heads toward Gabriel. With a lot of effort, Ethan gets the virus capsule out of Gabriel's neck and hooks it up to the port-over device. The capsule and the device are now connected. Once the capsule links to the port-over drive, the entity gains access to the main system. But right at the critical moment, Grace yanks out the flash drive. This drive holds the entity's entire existence in a physical form. By doing this, Grace stops the world from facing destruction. And that is how the IMF manages to save the world. The team saved the world. The final scene of the movie includes several nods to old films. Similar to the 7th installment Bricks, which had always remained unfriendly, offers peace. Madam President appears as the one who took on the task of saving the world and succeeded in it. Although some issues arose, she dealt with them. It is revealed that the president's son served as a soldier in the nation she planned to bomb. After saving the world, she feels overjoyed when reunited with her son. In addition, the IMF team leader retires after finishing the mission. All the IMF agents appear in the movie's final scene. Ethan hands over the existential high drive he was carrying to the agents. After that, they each return to their tasks. This marks the conclusion of Mission Impossible, the final recognition.